Hello Matajima, and watching HornbillTV. Joining us today is a young woman who is not just gracing the stage, she is transforming it. With a presence that commands attention and a purpose that inspires action, she is redefining what it means to be a modern beauty queen. A proud finalist at Miss Grand India 2025, she is also a youth advocate, a recent graduate, and the founder of Better Giving, an NGO dedicated to children's education and uplifting underserved communities. Her pageant journey is already studded with accolades, from first runner-up at Miss Montown 2022 to Miss Photogenic at Miss Nagaland and second runner-up at Northeast India Supermodel 2024. But beyond the titles, it's her heart, her vision and her unshakable sense of purpose that truly sets her apart. She is bold, brilliant and deeply rooted in her culture, representing a new generation of change makers. Please welcome to the show the incredible Ayuh Konyak. So hello Ayuh, thank you so much for joining me today. It's a pleasure to have you here. You look stunning. Thank you so much for agreeing to speak to us today.
Okay, thank you. Hi, nice to meet you too.
Okay Ayuh, I have briefly introduced you to the viewers, but if there's anything that you'd want to add up regarding, if you want to let the viewers know you more, you can now have your time.
Hello everyone, I am Ayuh Konyak, grand finalist of Miss Grand India 2025. When it comes to my family includes my mom, my dad, my younger sister, my younger brother, and we are 5 of us. And when it comes to my schooling and colleging, I did my schooling in St. John Higher Secondary School and my college in Unity College. So currently I'm waiting for my results.
So you just recently graduated, right?
Yes,
okay.
yes.
And now that you're a finalist of Miss Grand India, I've had the opportunity to talk to the other contestants also, and I got to know that you were the wildcard entry.
Yes.
So tell us more about how did that happen, the audition, but again there was wildcard entry and I'm not much sure about how it goes about. So tell us more.
Okay, so actually when the official registration was out, I was unable to register for it because since I was in my final year and then during the exam period only the registration was out. So I was unable to turn up, but actually I was preparing for a national pageant since like Miss Grand was something which I wanted to participate for so long, and unluckily there was some exam clashes and all, and then I could not register at the right time. So luckily and unluckily our exam, it schedule changed, and then I was able to, complete my exams on the month of in the month of May. So luckily and unluckily, there was wildcard entry. So I was selected as one of the wildcard entry, and then that's something, through the grace of God and something if there is a will of God. So everything happens in the right path. So that's something. Very glad that I'm going to represent Nagaland as a wildcard entry in Miss Grand India 2025.
Can you also tell us how many wildcard entries are there?
As per my knowledge, there was only 2 states which were given the wildcard entry. So one was, I don't know much about that, but then one was from Nagaland and the other state.
Okay. So when was this results out? Like when did you get to know, and run us through the feeling? How did you feel when you got to know that you were the wildcard entry for this Miss Grand India?
Okay, so we just after all the registration, all the things were done, they just called me up after 2 days. After 2 days, they called me up, and then they explained me the entire procedure, and then everything was well to go, and then everything was done perfectly.
The other contestants, since the results were announced earlier, they had the
Yes.
time to at least prepare, but I would say that you had lesser time to prepare. So what do you feel about it? Is it more, do you have more pressure or?
Obviously, since I got very few days to prepare for my pageant, but then I believe that through our dedication we can go through any pressure. And then when it comes to Harna Sandhu, our Miss Universe, she just got 1 month to prepare for her national pageant, and she brought back the crown to India. So there are so many pageant aspirants also who got less time, but through their dedication they could do it. And then even me, I got a lot of pressure during my pageantry, and then the voting list where my voting list was out really late. So I got to, some here there were drawbacks, but then I am doing good in all the things. Even in voting, I'm not lacking, and then that's something I've done it like at my end I have done it best, and then that's how my preparation is going, and I'm almost done. I'm just yet to go for the finale.
You have mentioned earlier that you were preparing yourself for national pageants,
Yes,
right?
yes.
And as we know, there are other pageants also. There's Miss Universe India, Miss World India. Why did you choose Miss Grand India? What is it that draws you in?
Okay, so Miss Grand is something which I was really interested in because they focus on 4 Bs:
Right.
beauty, brain, business, and body. So that was something which I was really fond of done. And beside other pageants, why I choose Miss Grand is because yeah, there are a lot of pageants. There are Miss Universe, Miss India, but I think I will go along. We have to choose the criteria in which we are fit in. So my heart was willing for Miss Grand, and that's the reason I choose Miss Grand to be to be my national pageant where I would participate.
Right. And as much as I'm aware of, you also got a lot of support from your community as well, and
Yes, yes.
several organizations.
Yes.
So what does you being a finalist of Miss Grand India mean to your community and to you as well? And tell us more about the support that you have been garnering from your community.
Yes. Since when it comes to my community, they are very supportive. I mean, this is not my first time doing pageantry. It's almost, I've been participating for more than 6-7 pageants. So every time, whenever I contest, may it be about voting or maybe about liking, sharing, and then supporting my community, have been the biggest strength. So as I've been working with the district administration for quite long for this in national for Women's Right Day, or whether when it comes to Environment Day or something like that. Whenever there is program in Mon, I always collaborate with them. I'm always invited. So I have been working with KNSK and also collaborated. So that's something I got more opportunities, and then that's how our community also came to know about me. So that's the reason, through their support, they have been helping me a lot. Even when it comes to our Konyak Student Union or KNSK or any Konyak Student Union Dimapur or Konyak Student Union Kohima, everyone have been playing a vital role in supporting me in my journey.
Right. And like you've mentioned, you have been in some pageants from Miss Mon Town to Miss Nagaland, participating there, and then Miss Northeast. How was your journey? Tell us more about your pageant journey. And is pageant something that you were always interested in as a kid, as you were young, or how is it?
Yes, that's pageant is something which I was really interested when I was young. Since I saw my when I saw my elder sister, no, my elder sister, my cousin sister, there was Miss Mon during back then, and then she won this first runners-up. So that was something, it started from my family. So seeing her, growing up, seeing her, I really started, having that interest, building up interest in pageantry. So that's the reason I was so interested when I was young itself. And then after I reached my secondary in college, I started marching towards my passion, and that's something I started up. And then during our time, there was lockdown, so there was no Miss Mon during that time. So the Mon MTSU, they started up and they came up with Miss Montown. So I contested, represented my ward, and then I got this Miss Montown first runners-up. Then after winning district, I went to Northeast, which was held in Gangtok, Sikkim, Miss Northeast India Supermodel. So there I got second runners-up, and I also won this Beauty with Purpose project through my NGO. So that was something about my journey. And then even in Miss Nagaland, I got Miss Photogenic, and all this title and all these opportunities, all these privileges were so wonderful. I am really happy, really great and grateful enough that I got to choose this passion. And then this is something which have changed me totally. I was not a person who was also able to face people, or that brave enough, confident enough, but through pageantry, I was able to shine as a woman and as an individual myself. So that's something beautiful.
Like you've mentioned, you were interested in pageants since you were young. When we are young, we always think of pageants as just the glitz and glamour, and we don't know much about it, right? But after you joined the pageant industry, tell us more that you learned about it.
Okay. So when I thought of this when I was young, I would say I thought that pageantry was all about glitz and glamour. Have we always seen stage girls presenting themselves in makeup with all the shimmery clothes and all. So I thought that it was all about beauty. And then even now, since we are from a very conservative society, people always say that those who win Miss Monta, those who win Miss Nagaland, they're the most prettiest women win there. So it's not about that. Pageantry has taught us a different part of life, like different zone. Like it's about it's not about beauty. Beauty is just one person. It's about our external self. It's all about our overall performance. It's about our inner beauty, and then it's about how we foray ourselves to do something for the people. And as we all know that those pageant queens and those who win titles, they always work for NGOs, they work for advocacy. So that's something, marching towards positive, to do something for the community.
Right. You have mentioned that you have been working for an NGO and it's called Better Giving. So what inspired you to launch it? I think you launched it in the year 2024, if I'm not mistaken. Tell us more about that. What does it advocate and what does it work for?
Okay, so during my reigning for in this Miss Montan for Zernizal, I don't want my year to go just like that. I just want to do something for my people or for everyone, just to serve community. I wanted to serve society. So that's something. There were so many in different districts, they have come up with Beauty with Purpose project, and everyone have worked for that. But in our district, there was no one who came up with this Beauty with Purpose project. So I took the initiative as a title holder. I took the initiative of, organizing this NGO along with my friends. I am the one who organized, and I got help from so many people. And then with all the supports, we came together and we visited orphanages, or we are still working for so many plans, and then it's also implemented. We are working for child education and so many other things.
Yes. So what long-term impact do you envision for Better Giving and children in support? So what is your long-term goal?
Okay. So in many of the villages, there are the government schools. They're only up to class 8 or like till class 10. So after that, they have to do it themselves. Or there are so many unprivileged children, those who are unable to go to the schools, or especially single parents. When I was working for child education and in visiting villages and all, I have noticed one thing, that in our community there are a lot of single parents. Those are single parents, and they are unable to send their children to schools. So they end up going to others' place. Child laborers comes into that through, because of their unprivileged to go enough to school. So my NGO really focus on bringing people together and working for the children. So we are working on this scholarships plan, where we will be selecting some students, those who are really interested in studies and those who are brilliant enough. So we will be selecting those students, and we will helping them in their higher studies. And also we are planning to provide them scholarships. So we are coming up with this plan. We're going to collaborate and expand it more broadly.
Good to know that you're doing such great job for the community. And see, what are some, since you mentioned that you have been working for this project for quite some time now, what are some challenges you have faced while working?
Okay. So when it comes to working for these things, the challenges would be like, since from a pageant industry, and then we had to really take care of our skin, we have to present our best. So working in this area, sometimes we get so much exposure to the sun, friendly speaking and honestly speaking. When I visited more than 3-4 villages. So whenever I visit, there are a lot of challenges that I face. Sometimes, when we are not in our good state, also we have to go there, we have to travel a lot. But if that's something which is going to bring a positive impact, I'm taking up that. So yeah, there's challenges, but I am able to overcome that.
And I'm pretty sure that you travel to far-flung areas also, where there's travel is also difficult. So those might have been a challenge for you as well, staying and also traveling. Those roads and everything must have been a challenge, right? Or how did it go about?
Yeah. It's really challenging, because those villages, the rural villages, they are quite very far away from down areas. So we have to invest a lot. So my parents have been my biggest supporter. My dad, sometimes he used to take me there himself, and then he is always there for me. No matter how busy he is, whenever I am about to go for my project or any plan, he always accompanies me.
Right.
So I could not do this since it's new, and then like it's been like not many people know about that, so I'm not getting fund much and then supports from everywhere, but there are some people those are really supporting. So as of now I'm doing it all by myself, so my dad and my parents have been really supportive. So it's very, yeah, we have to do a lot.
Right. Totally
It's going on.
understandable.
Yeah.
Maybe you cannot just mention everything because
Yeah,
there's a
yeah.
lot of it also, right? And as much as I know, when it comes to pageants as such, you'll have to have a beauty with a purpose project.
Yes.
So is this going to be working for child education and all of that? Is it going to be your advocacy even in this pageant, or what would it be?
Yes, this is something which I have stood for it, and then that's something which I'm going to go further. I'm also always going to be, advocating for child education and then child safety, since we know that in our area there are so many people, those who are, child sexual harassment, everything is very usual. So that's something I want to work and then, protect child and then, do something for the community. And this is one of the most important topic that we should discuss, and one of the most important advocacy that I would go for. So I will always stick with that.
Right. So, and when it comes to Nagaland, like you mentioned, there's a lot of child abuse and all, and those are things that they do not even get highlighted in the news also, because
Yes.
as we know, they just what do I say? They just solve it between the two parties, and those things happens a lot in Nagaland as well. So when it comes to educating the children about good touch and bad touch and all of that, how are you going to promote that? How are you going to teach that to the children? Would it be awareness programs that you would want to do in the future, or how will you work for your advocacy?
Yes. So there are a lot of cases coming up for that, but it always go unnoticed.
Right.
And then for those family, they always don't want to, get exposure or exploit. So they always, tends to silence their voices.
True.
So that's something I've noticed, especially in our community. So that's something I want to work for it. And then in my visit to NGOs and everywhere, the NGOs, those who work in the NGO, it may be a woman leader or something like that, always tell me to, particularly tell the girls or advise them regarding this. So whenever I go around, I always, especially I focus on girls, teaching them about bad touch and good touch, because that's something we should really keep them aware about that. So that's something I'm doing, and then I believe that I'm working on more awareness program. I am on the process of making programs for visiting villages through collaborating with various sources, which is going to bring a really good impact.
Right. We'll get back to the pageants again, but again, beyond pageants, beyond the crown, what are some of the things that you're passionate about, are you interested about, or maybe some hobbies that you have that you might, our viewers might want to know also. So tell us more about that on a lighter note.
Okay, so I was really interested in painting. So I am still painting, but then that's something which I have left it. And then beside that, I'm also working out. I am really, working out to stay fit.
Right.
And that's sometimes when I go to the gym and then take care of myself every time. And then beside that, I also love singing and dancing.
Okay. So is pageant going to be your main goal, or is there anything that, since you graduated recently, what would your dream be? What would you want to work on? Or is it just going to be pageants that you'll be focusing on, or what has been your long-term goal?
Okay, so my long-term goal is, since I started up pageantry, because it's not because of some compulsion, but it's because I'm really interested and passionate about pageantry. So this is my long-term goal. I'm very passionate, and I'm going to, keep going forward. No matter, sometimes we might face failure or drawbacks, but I'm going to overcome it. And then I believe that this is going to be but I'm pretty sure that this is something which I'm going to go along with.
Right. Now coming back to Miss Grand India, since you are a finalist now, the other contestants that I've spoken to, of course, some mentioned that they're individual candidates, and also some said they're under organizations. But again, what about you? Are you going there and contesting there as an individual candidate, or are you working under any agency or organizations, or how is it? Are you taking care of all the travel and all the expenditure there for the pageants, starting from your gown and everything? Like I think, if I'm not mistaken, so are you taking care of it yourself, or is there any help?
Okay, so since I am under an organization, Northeast India Supermodel, they have been also supporting me a lot. And then when it comes to my participation, my community have been playing an active role in, promoting or helping me in everything.
Right.
So that's something. And then when it comes to pageantry, it's all about, going yourself, and then, there is a lot of expenses. So in my part, I'm doing all by myself, and yeah. Somehow I'm getting help also from my community or organization. I'm under, our district organizations and under Northeast also. So, and even when it comes to Eastern also, they have been like playing a very good role in, promoting and helping. So that's something, our community have been, supporting me. And then even my parents, I would say my parents.
So as much as I know, you'll be leaving tomorrow, if I'm not wrong, right? So tell us about why you're leaving so early. So what is the plan? But behind the camera, you did mention about that you have some classes there to attend, grooming sessions, or what did you mention? Training sessions. So tell us more about that also.
Okay. See, actually, I want to keep that, within ourselves. But let me just say, I'm going to Delhi to take my grooming classes, and I have some work there to, get my dresses done. I have to, do a lot of shopping there. So I'm going there for getting my official grooming classes, and also to do my, since Delhi is a city, so all the things that I want to get it, I can get it there. So yeah, that's something I'm going there for my pageantry and all for my this work, and then after that I will be leaving for my actual place.
Right. So I've had the opportunity to get to know more about all of the finalists, and I can see that everyone is different, and especially in their own way. But then, in your words, how would you say what sets you apart from all the other contestants? Not just the finalists from here, but there'll be other contestants from all over the state, all over India, right? From different walks of life. So, what do you think makes you different from the rest?
Okay. What makes me different from the rest is that I'm always so dedicated. See, getting 25 days just to prepare for a national pageant is not easy.
Right, true.
But I am able to do this, and then I'm able to do all the things in once. So that's something good about me, that I never give up no matter what. Since it's my dream, it's passion, and I'm really passionate about that. I am doing that. So that's something different about me, and then I'm very hardworking.
Right. I can see that. I mean, you have been working for your purpose also, beauty with a purpose also. I'm pretty sure that you're very dedicated in whatever you do. I can definitely see that. And since you have been in pageants for quite some time now, and you have had, you have a lot of feathers on your cap as well. How do you balance? If I'm not mistaken, there are certain demands in pageantry, right? So, how do you balance staying true to yourself while meeting the demands of pageantry as well?
Okay, so regarding discussion, my reply would be, in pageantry there are a lot of challenges.
Right.
Sometimes you will get a lot of temptations on your way, and then so many challenges as mentioned earlier. But see, you have to be true yourself, because at the end it's about you representing and you about being passionate about your dream. So you have to choose wisely whether you're going on a good track or in a bad track. So if you are like I want to say something, if you're going to pageantry, we should do it with all our heart, and then that's something which you should always stay true yourself. So I'm always staying true to myself by always connecting myself towards my root, and then always staying humble. I would say that I don't to be honest, I'm always humble. That's the reason I believe that there are good opportunities coming, because when we work under an organization, it really matters to see your personality. So that's something I always stay down to earth, and that's something which I've been
Right. When it comes to beauty pageants, like national beauty pageants, you'll go there wherever the pageant is going to be held, but the main event will be after some days, but then you'll have grooming sessions and all those sessions, and I'm pretty sure there'll be rounds, different rounds as well. So I've asked this to a lot of, almost everyone, but then I want to ask the same question to you. Is there something, if there are different rounds, is there any round or any competition that you think you need improvement or to work on, or maybe you're not so ready about it? Is there any one of it as such?
Okay. See, when it comes to national pageant, something that all the girls are always insecure is about bikini.
Right.
Their swimsuit round, right? So for me, it's quite. I'm not that nervous enough because I already did Northeast, and then we had the swimsuit round, so I'm good to go with that. So that's something. Yeah, I just have to focus on my walk as of now, and then as I'm taking official classes, grooming classes, so it's fine for me. I can still work on it.
Right. And as a contestant who would be representing Nagaland, so what does it mean to you, and also to represent Nagaland on a national stage? And I would want to know, how are you going to represent Nagaland there?
Okay, so when it comes to representing Nagaland, it's a huge responsibility. Like, you know, whatever you do is going to reflect, and then you are holding your state name. So in everything I'm doing, I'm trying to, you know, do my best and always stay a vigor. So that's something I'm going to represent at my best. And when it comes to our national costume, that's the most interesting part in our pageant. So yeah, that's something I'm going to show about Nagaland and then represent at my best.
I've been interested in asking that to everyone because I really want to know. Tell us more, give us a gist about what is your. I heard that there's a national costume and state costume as well, both different costumes. So if you were to represent Nagaland there, when it comes to your state costume, then what would, just give us a gist of what can we expect?
Okay, so as of now, I just wanted to keep it low-key, but then under the table, but I'll just give a hint.
Right.
So my national costume is all about Hornbill.
Okay.
So that's the one clue that I'll give you guys.
That says everything actually. That was just a small clue, but
but there are more to it.
There are more to it. So, Miss Grand India, they have a theme. I suppose this year's theme is Stop the War and Violence, right? So how do you interpret that message, and what does it mean to you?
Okay, so I really like what Miss Grand stands for. Miss Grand, not only Miss Grand, but Miss Grand International. It stands for stopping wars, and that's something we should really focus on, because destruction is which is going to destroy everything. And then since we know their countries fighting, and in India also there's Pakistan and India war happening, so that's something, you know, Miss Grand really focus on. And as you have asked earlier, asking me about why I'm really interested in this Miss Grand, that's something because of what they stand for. See, we have recently we have mentioned it about stopping wars and all. That's something we should really focus on, because we should prevent it before, you know, the destruction happens. So that's something they stand for, and I really like the team, the thing which they stand for. That's something.
Right. And given the recent controversy that we all know about when it comes to Miss Grand International, where the former queen, Miss Rachel Gupta from India, had to step down, or as accused, they said that she was taken out of her crown also. I mean, we don't know much about it, but then, I mean, we don't know exactly what happened there, but as much as we know, there's a lot of accusations towards the organizer also. So what is your stand on that as well? And did that happening make you doubt about joining this pageant as well? Did it give you a second thought?
No, it did not give me a second thought, because, you know, we are really working hard for it. When that controversy came up, it was almost half of the, you know, it was almost a time when we already did all of the things. So just because, you know, I'm not saying that she was wrong, or I'm not just, you know, saying anything apart from that, but I'm just saying that we should listen from both sides. We should listen from both sides, and then there was a lot of controversy going on, and then people had to just go truly believe on one side, and that's something we came there, many people threaten us, like not threaten, but
Right.
many of the people came up saying we should dethrone our participation,
Right,
but
right.
that's something which we should not do. We have already invested, we have already given our best, sacrificing our time, our everything just for this particular pageant, and just because a controversy came up, we cannot be backing up, and that's not something beauty queen does that. If you are a beauty queen, and if you are participating and if you are doing something, you should have that targeted goal.
Right, right.
So that's the reason I did not had a second thought, because I know that in my part I'm doing good, and then whatever comes along with it, we have to do it our best and just stay positive.
Right. Totally understandable that it happened when everybody,
Yeah,
everything
yeah.
was prepared when it comes to you guys, and also everybody goes through different experiences.
Yeah.
So you can only speak for yourself, and I can
Yeah.
only speak for myself. So I do understand that, and I can see that you also actually have the potential. I mean, like, who am I to judge? But you do have the potential to be Miss Grand India. So let me ask this: like, let's think further, right? If
Okay,
crowned
okay.
Miss India, then how would you carry India's spirit onto the global stage? So let's think, dream
Okay.
big, and then
Okay,
let's
let's
just
dream.
let's dream
Yeah.
big, and then let's
There's no text in
Yeah,
dreaming big. So if I win, I'm surely going to work for international pageant. So that's something I will be representing India. So it doesn't matter like whatever outcomes it is. It just depends on how you perform yourself. And if I do good, who knows?
Yeah.
So that's something. And then see, as a person who have been very much active in social media, I believe that social media really plays a vital role in our life, and spreading awareness or everything. So if I am going to back the crown back to India, to Nagaland, and then if I got this opportunity, I'm surely going to work on spreading awareness or broadening this pageantry and bringing them into a different level by always working loyal towards the organization and always giving my best.
Right. As we've been discussing, like you said, you only got a few days to prepare, only maybe 25 days, and as mentioned, I also follow Miss Grand India page, and then it's quite active, right? People
Okay.
are posting about interviews and everything. So, did you get a chance to get along with the other girls also? Like, though you all did not meet face to face, maybe contestants from other states, or is there any contact between you guys? Or how is it?
Okay, so we have this Miss Grand page. So there, all the girls are very active. No matter how at what time, all the girls stay very active. So I believe that this time the participants are really outgoing, and that's something beautiful about pageantry when you got to meet your pageant sisters. So I'm really excited to meet with them and have a good time with them.
Right.
And yeah, so I didn't got to go along with all the girls particularly because since we are all busy right now because of our pageant is just coming, and that it's just countable days left.
Right.
So we are all very tied up. So that's something, and then yeah, just looking forward to have a good time with them.
A few months ago, there was Miss Grand, Miss Multimedia competition or something where if you get the highest vote, you'll directly go to top 10 or something like that,
top
right?
12.
Top 12. And I was
Okay.
also made aware that there are other assignments also, like you had to do media interactions and all of that also. So tell us more about that, and tell us more about all the other assignments that you all had to finish.
Okay. So media coverage is something which we should do it because it doesn't only happen in one pageant, but
Right.
in every pageant it happens. So media coverage is very important, as said. So when it comes to media coverage, in our district, especially, I have collaborated with KNSK, Sako women. Sako Kung, Konyak Sako Kung. So I've collaborated with them. They have helped me a lot. So we made banners and then we posted in our district. So
Right.
that's something I posted in 3-4 places. So something I did that, and also I had a conversation with some of the, as much as the organization said, we have to meet with our local media also. So I got to feature it in our local media, and also other articles like Guwahati Times, they have approached me. So many media coverages, you know, those people they have in social media, they have approached me. So I've already done my part, and then I've been, you know, sending them my, you know, introduction or anything so that they can make articles. So yeah, and also from pageant pages I'm getting a lot of support.
Right. It was a pleasure talking to you, and I really want to continue this interview, but since we'll have to end this, lastly I'd want to know, you already have your history in pageantry, you already have a lot of feathers on your cap, but where do you see yourself in 5 years? May I know about that, or do you still see yourself, what is your long-term goal in that? Tell us more about that.
Okay, so when it comes to 5 years after this, I wanted to see myself as a, you know, successful businesswoman, and also, you know, bringing the crown back to Nagaland, not only to Nagaland but India, because since I told earlier that no matter win or lose, I'm always going to dedicate myself towards my pageant, and then I'm always going to, you know, give my best. So no matter what, I'm going to keep marching forward, and then I'm going to participate, and then that's something I wanted to see myself, you know, getting the national crown.
Right?
Yeah.
That's quite a huge dream, and I should say, and I'm pretty sure that you'll do good when it comes to that. Lastly, is there anything that you'd want to let our viewers know, any appeal or anything as such?
Okay. So when it comes to, you know, giving an advice or like saying something to my viewers, I would say that if you have a goal, if you are passionate about something, you know, give your best, work hard for it, and then you will definitely achieve it. And since nowadays bullying and body shaming is going on, so I just wanted to advise everyone that, you know, let's be kind towards one another. Let's just not stay in our comfort zone and then judge others, because as I am a person who have been working for this, you know, as a women who have been working for social media and then, you know, social work, you know, I've observed and I've got to talk with so many girls, and then every time, because of the bullying and body shaming thing, people are unable to come out of their comfort zone. So that's something it's because of our, you know, our own mistake of, you know, judging people without knowing them. So let's just not judge in anybody, and then let's be kind towards each other, and then be, you know, there for one another. So to all the viewers, please keep supporting me, and then the voting link is still open, so you can please vote for me. And then my username in Instagram is Ayuh Konyak, so you can go there, and then in my bio I've, you know, in my bio I've mentioned my link where you can go and vote for me, and then in my journey also keep supporting me, and then yeah, we all can do good if we support one another. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for the message to our viewers, and thank you so much for joining me today, Ayuh. It was a pleasure talking to you, and I can see that you're working really hard and confident enough to bring the crown to Nagaland as well. So I'm wishing you all the very best for your future endeavors, and wishing you all the best for this pageant and also for your future as well. Hopeful that you will bring a lot of feathers to, you'll add a lot more feathers on your cap to get to know more about your journey, and everything that was inspiring, and the work that you're doing for the community is quite inspiring. So once again, thank you so much for joining me today.
Mostly welcome.
Right. That was Miss Grand India finalist Ayuh Konyak speaking to Hornbill TV, and as she has mentioned, we'll be putting up her Instagram account here on the screen as well, so do keep supporting her as well. That's all we have for now. Keep watching Hornbill TV.